We are live, No Chill Live 106 on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. We gonna be we everywhere now, man. We everywhere. It's still airy season, and yeah, we back.
That's right, man. That's right. We are back. We are everywhere. We're live. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. I was looking forward to today. I gotta say, I really was.
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Had another busy ass weekend. I know you. You know, we're out celebrating your family on Sunday.
That's right. That's right. But even before that, I mean, we had to celebrate number one over here, the big guy, kid from Neptune,
Oh yes, sir.
Julian Graham.
Hit the
Uh.
big 32.
That's right.
Had a great time, man. We all went out in the city. Nice family night. Yeah, it was dope. And then had to follow up going to the Knicks game on Monday. My parents got, Jenna and I tickets to the game. We were in the fifth row. We beat the shit out of the Rockets, man. It's crunch time. It's playoff time. March Madness. We here, baby. We here.
Let's go. Let's go. Listen, I'm glad that you had a really nice game. The seats look awesome. It looked like a really good time, and right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right before the playoffs, sitting at the 5 seed, looked like you're going to be ready to face off against the Cavs.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
That should be fun. I did see the Cavs earlier this year, the Cavs and the Knicks, and it was a great game. Came down to the wire.
Yeah.
Last play, big block. Shout out to the Knicks. Get it done versus Miami tonight, and lock it down. Lock it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Lock it down, lock it up. Trump still isn't locked up, man. Like I was like, did he just get us all every week anticipating some bullshit?
I think that for a number of years now, he seems like he's been one step ahead in some weird way. Even though it always seems like he's behind to us, he's actually one step ahead. Nobody's ever able to catch him. He doesn't really get in trouble. Like, yeah, it's in the media and stuff, but that's not real. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this whole
Possible indictment.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I'm just kind of like waiting for it to happen. But I saw in the New York Post they put out an article saying that Trump he could run for president from prison.
Yeah.
Like, and they said it's happened before, which I had no idea.
I've never noticed that either. Like this is way back in history, what 100 years ago or something
Literally.
like that. But somebody's done this before.
Yeah, man. Eugene V. Debs in 1920, a socialist candidate, he ran from prison. He did not win, but he got almost 1 million votes, which is like a lot more than even like Kanye West got when he ran back in 2020.
That's a ton of votes. And listen, there is nothing new under the sun because this is pretty crazy. This guy got imprisoned because he was protesting against World War One in the U.S. being involved in that, and they locked him up for sedition. And he still ran for president, but I will say he had run multiple times before that.
Oh yeah,
like the previous 3 elections leading up to that one, he also ran. So he was a busy guy.
Could you imagine like Trump running for president from prison? Like, you think that would actually like get him some more street cred? Because there's been a lot of people I feel like who have expressed that this is a little bit of a fugazi charge. Like I don't know, people don't seem that passionate about him being locked up. I think it's just the idea of ending his political career. But hey, if he runs from prison, maybe that'll actually be helpful. Who knows? Maybe it could be like the Meek Mill treatment. Meek Mill went to prison. He's friends with Robert Kraft.
I mean, I think that I would have to agree with most people. This is about Stormy Daniels, and this happened how long ago now? Like, if this is really what they're trying to get him on, they must not have any evidence. They have piss poor evidence for everything else that he's done throughout his presidency and even before. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's like they're just reaching for straws. Like, I think they could do a lot more, but maybe not. Maybe there's no real hard evidence. Maybe this guy, like I said, is just a few steps ahead.
Yeah, I feel like there's enough evidence. It's been since 2016. He just called the shot. He put it out there before anyone else could actually do anything about it, which actually seems really smart at this point.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't happened yet. But I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for him to get locked up, and I hope he does still try to run for president while he's locked up. Because honestly, that would be like the best reality TV show ever. That'd be way better than The Apprentice.
Listen, it would take Scared Straight to a whole nother level because he's gonna be from in some cushy prison, whatever they would put like a president in. Like
Yeah.
I don't. That's why I don't think this is real. Like they're not gonna lock up a president. It just won't happen.
Yeah, he would be the first like former president to ever get indicted on criminal charges.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, if like, I don't know. I didn't know in American history that actually somebody ran for president from prison. So maybe it could happen. I feel like Joe Biden won, and he was in prison in his basement campaigning. Like in 2020, he didn't step out the house, and it's really crazy to think about like 2020. Like I remember after the election, I just felt so relieved, like being like, oh shit, I wasn't happy that Biden won. I was just happy that Trump was out. I was like, oh my God, he's gone. We got him. Like,
we got him, and then June 6th happened, and it was like, wait, do we have him? Like, what's happening?
Oh my God. Like, yeah, that shit. That yeah.
But, 2 weeks before the new president gets sworn in, let's attack the Capitol. Yeah, craziness.
Yeah, literally crawling.
I would think that is what they would be trying to charge him for. But no, it's still the Stormy Daniels stuff. That's why I don't think it's real.
Well, he got impeached for that. Or did he?
Impeached?
Did he?
No, they didn't even have time.
I think he got impeached for the Georgia. He got impeached twice.
Yes.
First was the Ukraine bribe,
exactly,
and then it was
the Georgia
the
stuff.
Georgia shit. Which I feel like the most egregious thing he did was the Georgia phone call, like find the votes, like get me the votes.
I don't know. The Ukraine thing was kind of egregious too. It's like, listen, you help me, I'll help you. Like, what do you have?
Yeah. Now this man is saying like, oh, if I become president, I'm the only person who can stop World War III from happening. It's just like World War III hasn't happened. Like he's acting like it's a thing, but hey, he's good at marketing himself. And I think it will be great if he ran for president from prison. Like so, and it'll be great for our show. So
yeah, it'll be great for us. It'll be great for us. While we're talking about that, take some time, follow, subscribe. See us on all platforms, as Julian mentioned. We're everywhere at this point.
Even Twitter now. On Twitter Live. Shout out to our Twitter following. And shout out to all of our supporters.
Absolutely.
We're even on TikTok, and they're trying to ban that shit, bro. Yeah, and they got the CEO down in Congress getting pressed.
I don't know. I don't really understand this. The people, they've been really saying like, nah, we don't need to ban TikTok. Keep TikTok. That's the hashtag right now. Hashtag keep TikTok. People are saying like, I've made lots of money. I've changed my life off of this app. It's been a game changer for me. So I think that maybe keep TikTok.
Oh shit.
Maybe keep it.
Damn.
I mean,
these are, but okay. TikTok sent over influencers to Washington, to meet with people, like to show how it's changed their lives. And also, there's 150 million TikTok users in the United States of America,
and that's just the U.S.
Yeah, but there's like, how many? There's like what, over 300 million people in the United States. So that's like half our TikTok users. Can you really ban an app that half the nation uses? And also, half of these freaking tech companies are all trying to change their app into TikTok. They're like TikTok-ifying. Even Spotify now has like a feed you can scroll down. Oh, you could also find us on Spotify. Episode 105 is on Spotify. We're there too.
Google Podcasts as well. Listen, we're everywhere. We everywhere. But 1.5 billion worldwide on TikTok.
That's crazy. Damn. And if we're left out of that, how will that impact us? But, the fear is like the Chinese government, being
Yeah.
able to infiltrate and
Yeah.
having our data. They, TikTok as an app does take a crazy amount of your data. They, keep
Yeah.
track of your keystrokes, everything you're doing on your phone, when you're not using the app, they
Hmm.
keep track of it. And we don't know where that data is going. We don't know what that's used for, especially when you have an app that is so influential the way TikTok is,
True.
using an algorithm to push specific things out to the public. I do see an argument of how that could be a security risk.
I see the argument, but at the same time, would they even be having these conversations if this was a U.S. company?
No, and
I
they're
don't
trying,
think so.
but that's what they're trying to do. The Biden administration is saying like you need to sell to a United States owned company,
But
and that's the same thing Trump said, and they didn't do anything about it. Biden got in office and said no, we're not doing that. But now a couple years later, he changed his stance. Maybe they got some new information. Maybe that actually shows that it could be a threat. But
could be.
also there are some conspiracies out there saying Facebook, YouTube, Google, these other companies are behind this because,
They
as
all
I
do the
said,
same
they're all
thing.
trying to emulate TikTok. So
Hmm.
maybe they'll benefit from TikTok going down because everyone's trying to copy their shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. Anytime you're the big dog in the playground, you don't want somebody else showing up and trying to take your girl. And that's the
Mm,
way I view it with these tech companies looking at TikTok. They're like, this Chinese company is coming in here. They've been wildly successful
yeah,
on a global scale, and it's threatening our business.
it is. I mean, we hear about the tech layoffs every week,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. We saw Mark Zuckerberg be impressed by Congress after the elections and shit, and Facebook's influence back in 2016. So now it's like the tables have turned.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. One thing I will say is that if they ban a social media app before they ban assault rifles and assault weapons, where are our priorities? Like, it's clearly the money that's just running everything in this country because people are getting killed like crazy. Um, Rest in peace to the Nashville victims um, from the school shooting. 3 9-year-olds and 3 school staff, a
Mm,
custodian, a substitute teacher, and the head of the school.
yeah, yeah, that's awful. Prayers to the victims. I know, and that at least there were some cops who were brave enough to actually take action. So
Yeah.
it's scary. It's a scary world we live in. But yeah, it is crazy. When I saw that notification on my phone, I was just like, oh, another one. So
Exactly. That's the thing.
desensitized.
That's how we view it in the U.S. But meanwhile, we're worried about social media apps, and there's been more mass shootings this year than days in the year.
Mm, damn, that's that's a sad reality, man. Yeah, I don't know. I lost faith in the guns, the guns debate in this
Yeah.
country. I mean, I feel like the Americas were founded on guns, and it's so ingrained in our culture. I mean, you saw like the representative um, Christmas card of the state representative
Yeah.
for Nashville had rifles in his
Crazy.
Christmas card with his family. So,
Crazy.
it's within the culture. It's unfortunate, but hey, I don't even know what to say about this stuff anymore. But yeah, I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna ban TikTok. I think that will set kind of a bad precedent. But I do think that we need to further regulate social media apps and just kind of make sure that the kids are okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically what I'm more concerned about, and that's on all the apps. I am concerned about TikTok a little bit more because of the ties to China. The Chinese government is, very shady. We talked about the spy balloons,
Of course.
like,
Of
but
course. They are shady.
yeah, man, we'll see what happens. 1.5 billion worldwide users. That's
That's a lot
insane
of people.
influence.
That's a lot of people. But I wonder how many does Facebook have?
Probably like double that. But
Yeah, actually double that.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, shit, that's crazy too. But they're losing, and people are dying, and young people are adapting more to TikTok.
Yeah.
So, the people, these companies, they're looking to exist forever, as long as they can. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Everything is changing like real quick.
A wild landscape, man. Things are adapt or you going to die off when it
Yeah,
comes to tech and a lot of other things.
yeah, yeah. It's nuts, man. Yeah. Have you been following this Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial? This is like the whitest case in the world.
I haven't been following it, but when you sent over the article, I took a look and it seemed like she just turned everyone against the victim. Like she really did. She set it up so that everyone was looking at this guy like, yeah, sorry, buddy, but you're not getting your 300K.
Yeah, and he actually sued for 3.1 million initially. Then he reduced it to 300K. I think after he got pushback from
Mm-hmm.
the judge. I think they should just drop the whole case anyway because he's suing her because he's saying that she ran into him on the slopes on the Bunny Hill and injured him. He said, he had a brain injury. He's not the same person. He said that he can't even enjoy wine tastings anymore. Like this is the most rich white trial in the history of man.
Listen, this is a retired optometrist, and he said that he had like fractured ribs, he got a concussion, and essentially it disabled him. So he's looking for his $300,000. He's 76 years old.
Now, but how old was he when this happened in 2016?
Okay, so
And also,
6 years ago, he was still 70.
yes, but if you on the slopes, man, you got to protect yourself at all times.
That's true. That's
And
true.
she's saying that he ran into her. So I don't know. Actually, when I look at them both, I want to believe her. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would believe her too. Even his lawyer is like trying to be friends with her.
She's an
Like,
actress. This is her job. Like she is convincing. She's turning everyone against this poor old man. She said she's been skiing since she was a little kid.
damn. Exactly. I trust her.
What? That's why I don't trust her. That's why I'm like, you know what? If you've been skiing for that long, you should have been able to avoid this.
But she's saying that he ran into her. There's no evidence. That man said he had a GoPro video. It's gone. So, he's the
Yeah.
one looking for a payday. He's retired. He found out the person he crashed into or crashed into him was Gwyneth Paltrow, and he's trying to get his money. I don't know if I want him to get it. I will say though, I tried to ski one time. That shit is scary. I was on the practice hill and it's not easy to stop. It's fucking hard.
You could say the real name. It's called the Bunny Hill. Okay, it's the Bunny Hill, and I agree with you though. Skiing is definitely difficult. After a day skiing, you're like your muscles, they are all sore, even your back, and it's like I was using my legs the whole time. Why is my back so sore? But it's just it's a way more difficult sport than you would think just looking at it.
Yeah, it looks like fun, and I'm sure it is fun if you can like master the
Yeah.
skill of it. Maybe I need to go to like what is it, the Great American Mall, and try on the slopes.
Yeah, that's right. They need some money, so if you go over there, they'll be grateful.
No, for real, like that's pretty cool, like indoor skiing.
Yeah.
But that's something I would like to learn how to do and not run into people. Do you think he's gonna get paid in the end of this? Because I feel like for her, 300. I feel like for her fighting this case like would cost
It's like why?
more than
Exactly.
300K. So she must be trying to prove a point.
It must be that she's trying to prove a point. I mean, she was laughing on the stand, and I feel the same way. If it's $300,000, I don't know what her net worth is, but what are we doing? He's
Yeah.
an old man. Even if he did run into you,
Nah, fuck that.
maybe she's really standing to her guns. Maybe he really did run into her in the first place, and she's like, "No, I'm not about to just give you this money."
Word. I don't know. Prayers to everyone involved, though.
Yeah,
It is entertaining, though.
it's pretty funny because like just even the jury was already on her side, like laughing at her jokes and stuff like that. She said that our bodies were almost spooning, and I moved away quickly. Like I would laugh at that if somebody said that on the stand.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
said he was groaning and grunting in a very disturbing way. You knocked over a 70-year-old man. That's why he was groaning and grunting.
We don't know though. We don't know. She's saying he ran into me, and you can't. It's not even fair to go against an actor in court because they can act and they can put on a show. And,
Exactly.
especially when like your lawyer is a fan of hers and like trying to be like, oh, ask questions about Taylor Swift. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with this case?
Not cool.
This whole thing is a joke.
Not cool.
But we'll see if he gets paid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see this going well for him because she's won the jury over.
Yeah. Prayers to him. Yeah, man. Speaking of white women getting hit, Jonathan Majors. He was arrested this weekend.
What a segue. What a segue.
That might be the worst segue of the year.
It's Women's History Month. All right, it's still Women's History Month. We got a couple days left. Shout out to all the women out there listening and supporting us. Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, we didn't even know this man's name like a few weeks ago when we restarted the podcast. We were like, oh, what's that guy's name? He's in all these movies that are coming up. And now we haven't been able to, ignore him. He's been everywhere. He was even on like the Army recruiting ads during March Madness that they pulled after he was arrested for, assaulting a woman in New York City. Now, he was released. His lawyer did put out a statement saying that he's fully innocent.
Yeah. Of course.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything the past couple of days beyond his lawyer putting out that initial statement. The charges have not been dropped at this point. This guy was on top of the world, man. Like, what do you make of this, bro? Like, were you shocked when you heard the news? Because I was.
He's still on top of the world, apparently, because, the news came out. I was really surprised. I was like, what? He just had a movie get $100 million the first week or something like that. Like, he's got all these
Ant-Man 2 and then Creed 3, like two number one box office hits.
He's like big time at this point. And like you said, I actually know his name for sure. Like, even though I watched Lovecraft County, I didn't know what his name was.
Yeah. And like The Harder They Fall too.
Yeah, he's got some stuff going on. And that could be why we haven't heard too much after this. Apparently it was him and a girlfriend, or I don't think that his lawyer actually called this a girlfriend, just said like it's a woman he was seeing or talking to or something like that.
I'd be saying the same shit, bro. Not even gonna lie.
Anyway, so they said that he actually called the police because he described it as, oh, she's having like an emotional or mental breakdown or something like that. But when they showed up, she had, they called it a laceration by her ear because she got the shit smacked out of her. They said she had like marks around her throat, like she had been strangled. And, they detained him for it. And then he was right back out.
Yeah. Did you see Creed 3 yet?
I didn't see it yet, no. But I've seen the pictures of him, and he's yoked. Like, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
I also saw randomly, like right after I saw the headlines about this, I saw someone had done like his supposed workout from Creed 3.
Oh, shit.
And it was an insane workout.
Oh, man. I can't. Did it include steroids? Because I don't know.
They didn't mention the steroid use, but there was a lot of push-ups and, chest workouts, bicep curls, a lot of trap workouts with shoulder shrugs, like an obscene amount of shoulder shrugs. Like literally 30 plus reps per set. Like It was an obscene amount. But he looked good. So clearly the work paid off. He's able to beat down a woman.
Oh my God. Allegedly.
Yes, know. Allegedly, of course.
But
of course.
All I'm saying is he's big as fuck. He wasn't always that big.
No, he wasn't.
He
was always definitely fit. But it's good that he beefed up a little bit with his muscles because he's never been the most attractive guy. But
no, I mean, did you see The Last Black Man in San Francisco? He's totally different from that movie. That came out like 2019.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It's been so long though.
Exactly. I didn't even realize that was him. Like the same until I like thought back or
Yeah.
heard like been reading about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I heard this, I was like, damn man, the harder they fall, man. That sucks, bro. Like
Hmm.
he really got so big, and they were saying like they're gonna build like the Marvel universe around. Did you see Ant Man?
No, I haven't seen the most recent one. No.
No, Troy. Did you see the new Ant Man?
No, I still haven't seen it yet.
Damn. Are you familiar with like his character and how it's gonna like, be in the next few movies though?
Yeah, for sure. He was in the show Loki
Okay.
at the end as well, kind of like a variant of whoever his character Kang is. So yeah, I'm familiar with how much of an impact he's supposed to have.
Yeah. So like, is he like a big ass part in the next like part of the universe? 'Cause I haven't seen a lot of the recent ones.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
he literally has a movie called Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and it's like
Oh.
his movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. So Disney has a lot on this guy.
Disney flew into New York City on the Avengers plane and was like, "Listen, we're gonna make this disappear for you right now."
Oh man, you like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what we're gonna hear from this beyond this, but I will say like they said they were arguing about his girlfriend supposedly seeing him text message another girl, and she confronted him about it, and then she said he attacked her afterwards in a cab car. Now, that story sounds very familiar, like, and it gets kind of scary. Like I've had arguments like that in the past, and you got to know when to step away, and I don't want to come to any conclusions. I feel like the fact that he was arrested and that she did have marks on her, that there was some type of, physical altercation. Even if she started it, he's a big ass guy, and I don't know. I feel like we don't know enough to make it a judgment on it, but I would say it's not a good look. And hearing the story, it's just like, yeah, I could see something happening where his big ass could have probably put his hands on her and hurt her.
It's not a good look. I wonder if it happened initially in a taxi. A lot of taxis in New York now have those cameras.
Yeah,
where you can see the exterior, like in front, just in case there's an accident, and then also the inside in case there's some crazy confrontation with the passengers between the taxi driver, the passengers themselves, that sort of thing. So I would love to see if further information footage is going to come out, because Disney is probably going to try to bury this stuff. Like if they viewed him as someone that they could possibly really build the next few movies around, it's not looking great. It's just not looking great.
Yeah, and when you get pulled from ads from the army, if you offend the army of all people,
that's a low bar. That's a low bar, and if you cannot get above that bar, that's pretty suspect. But there have been rumors that he's had like some physical confrontations with people before and stuff like that. This is not new stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I feel like a lot of actors and creative people, do have a little crazy side to them. And I'm not saying he was taking steroids, but this sounds like a little bit of a, roid rage, if you ask me. But hey, hopefully they clear it all up. Hopefully he's able to stay out of trouble. If he's innocent, hopefully, we're able to get clarity, because I don't know, man. I don't know if people are going to feel okay seeing him, beat Spider-Man's ass, knowing that, he has this charge on him. I don't know.
I mean, listen, I will say that for his point of view, it's probably a good thing they didn't say the name. It always makes it worse when you can match a name and a face with like whoever the victim is. If it continues to be like, oh, nobody knows who it happened to and things like that, it only helps his case and helps the ability for this to disappear for him and for Marvel and Disney and whoever else is involved in the potential money that is involved, like he's tied up in. So we'll see. It's still really early. Usually when stuff like this happens, the first couple days, it's a bunch of information, and then there is a little bit of a lull for a few weeks. So I expect more in April.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. It's crazy because the Ezra Miller stuff on the DC side with the Flash and the Flash, the next Flash movie is gonna like pretty much determine the rest of the DC universe. So they have been pushing that back since he got in his trouble. Been doing crazy shit like punching people at bars and breaking into houses and kidnapping people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know they didn't shelve that movie, but they did cancel Batgirl. But I guess Batgirl didn't really wasn't involved in the future movies the way you know the Flash was. So it's crazy how people kind of get you know preferential treatment based upon you know how much these companies have invested in them. But you know things get crazy. When I first heard this story, you know it reminded me of the story of you know Chris Brown and Rihanna back in the day coming you know going to the Grammys. You know her reaching for his phone and them getting into that crazy physical altercation.
Yeah.
That really changed, you know,
Changed
both
the-
of their lives
yeah.
forever. I mean, they were both able to, you know, become, you know, recover from that and
Yeah.
still continue their careers and overcome that. And
Which is rare.
yeah,
Which is
Just- they're-
definitely rare for something like that to happen, and then both people to make it on and continue with their careers.
yeah. I mean, they're both extremely talented too.
That's true.
You know,
Absolutely.
but you know, Chris Brown was able to alter another couple's fate at one of his concerts, bro. And when I heard about this, I definitely wanted to talk to you about it. Chris Brown has been on tour in Europe, I think, the last couple of months,
Yeah.
and he's been, you know, he used to do the meet and greets with his fans. He was charging his fans like $1,000 to meet him. So he likes to get up close and personal.
Yeah, he was real personal in those meet and greets. I mean, he was hugging the ladies, like giving them. A couple of them were bending over, like taking some pictures and stuff. He was doing the most, and he was letting them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, he loves his fans,
Yeah.
the people that support him. And this one man surprised his girlfriend with front row tickets to see Chris Brown. And
That he did. Let's take a look at it just to see exactly how this happened. Give me 1 second while
I was just
we
going
get
for a
rid of
drive,
these ads
which
up
is
here,
wild
but,
because up until very
it
recently,
is
the thought of driving more than 5
slightly
minutes away
disturbing.
would send us.
Like,
oh yeah, the rolling torso across her. Yeah, I see it. But then she was giving it too much sauce too.
you think so?
Yeah, she was way too into it. Yeah, no. There was a lot going on there. I don't like how she wrapped her hands around his thighs and butt and pulled him in
Oh,
when he
man.
was dancing on her. That's the part that's like, no, what are we doing? What are we
Yeah.
doing?
Her boyfriend broke up with her after this. He said, "I'm done." He actually asked for a refund as well. Like,
I mean,
that's crazy, man. A refund, man. You got more than your money's worth, no matter what.
well,
Like,
she did, but
come on, like even if that's a deal breaker for you, then at least you know Chris Brown saved you from years.
yeah,
You know,
years of this.
taking it more serious, or you know, I just don't understand. But it must feel real shitty to spend that money. You know, those tickets cost a lot of money.
They were front row. They
Yeah.
were front row tickets that he got her. And I mean, listen, there's certain artists that you know you cannot take your girl around.
Do you have a list? Yeah.
I mean, if I had a list, Chris Brown is near the top, if not at the top. Like, I'm not front row at a Chris Brown concert. No way. Never.
Yo, those tickets should come with a warning. These tickets may come with Chris Brown's dick in your girl's face. Like, if you're gonna do
Exactly.
that, you have to warn someone before they shell out thousands of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, no.
But do you think it was too much for him to be like, "Oh, I'm done with this relationship"? Like, how would you feel like if your girl went up there and behaved the way this woman did? You said you were a little bit bothered by her hand movements or how into it she was. But if that was your actual girlfriend, like, would you handle it like this guy did?
I mean, it depends. It depends on your relationship. I think, like, how confident you are in your relationship and how confident you are as a man. Not only that, like, you could have said something before she even went up there. You could have been like, no, don't go up. And if she didn't listen, or if she did, you know, that's a conversation that you could maybe have in a span of 10 seconds when somebody comes up to her like, hey, Chris saw you in the crowd. He wants you to come up on stage.
Nah, Chris pointed her out specifically and pulled her up on stage.
Well, then you gotta hope that your woman respects you enough to act the right way up there.
How do you act the right way when Chris Brown is gyrating in your face?
You don't pull him closer so that his nuts are on top of your stomach and chest. You don't do that. You don't do that. Like, you can't tell me that Chris is up there and he's just like complete softy, like softy ice cream and stuff.
So you gotta relax.
Hey, if we're gonna have the conversation, we gotta have the conversation.
I'm not trying to have that conversation, bro. There's some details.
I'm just saying, like, this is Chris Brown we talking about. Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like,
That is Trey Songz, bro.
You're right. I'm confusing them. But still, either way. We know what Chris Breezy is doing in these streets. He's been doing it for 15 years.
So you wouldn't take it so far to break up with your girl, but you'd be salty.
Yeah, I would definitely be salty. If she was doing that, it's like, yo, why are you making me look stupid out here? I got you these tickets to celebrate and have a good time at the concert, and then you want to disrespect me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, turn the tables. Imagine I take a girl to the strip club, and next thing you know, I got some chick's pussy on my face. And she's just slapping me with her ass cheeks, and my head is going like this. Like, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. It's not fair, right? It's not fair to her. Even if my girl is with me for the lap dance, it's like, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Gentina said softy ice cream. Yeah, it's just wild, man. It's just wild. And the craziest thing I've seen at a strip club is I was out in Puerto Rico a few years ago, and one of our friends, he was by the stage, he was throwing dollars on the stage, this one stripper, and she had walked up to him, put her feet on his shoulders.
Oh yeah.
She bashed her cheeks right in his face.
That's right.
And I swear, I'm pretty sure he got pink eye after that shit.
Yeah, he had a concussion after that. He was
Shout
knocked
out
out.
to Will Smith, concussion. But yeah, I feel like I would be salty too, like, because not only did you shell out all of this money, but you got to stand there and watch, and knowing everyone's looking at you, like, waiting for your reaction. Like, oh, that's your girl up there right now? Like, so I would be salty. I would not ask for a refund at all, because that's just...
No, you don't ask for a refund. I mean, you go for a great experience. You go to see Chris Brown, excuse me. You brought up Trey Songz before. It's got me twisted. But I think that the aftermath is the worst part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
because
clearly
her phone is blowing up crazy. Everybody's going to see this video is viral. Everyone knows. And anyone that knows the two of them remotely is going to be talking about that. And they're never going to forget that. Yeah. And then when he tries to have sex with her that night, if she's like super soaking like she's never been before, you know, it wasn't that you did anything.
Super soaking.
It's Chris Brown that did all the work for you. He got her ready. He got her warmed up. Like, it was he had the pregame with her, and now you over here trying to bat 9 innings. It's not going to happen.
But what's wrong with that? Like, when I first saw Maxwell years ago, there was so many women just in front of the stage, and just like all over him.
Of course, it's
Maxwell. And
Maxwell
said, fellas, don't worry. Like, I'm warming them up for you to, have a good time tonight. And I was just like, oh, that's really smart. He's doing people a favor. So if you have a good attitude about it, I think it's fine. But I will say I would have been a little bit salty, and we ain't going to no concerts anymore on ground level.
200 section only.
But we're going to live stream that shit. That's it. And yeah, you're right, though. I didn't even think about, like, having, like, your friends and people, like, know about that shit.
Yeah.
And then every time you out, you hear Chris Brown. It's just like you can't even
this
you can't
is
even
viral.
Be happy.
That's why he broke up with her. I don't think it's because of how she acted. I'm sure he was like embarrassed or like, dang, she going crazy for Breezy. But it's Chris Brown. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If I was front row at Chris Brown's concert, I'd be screaming my head off too.
Pause.
But yeah, pause. But it's the aftermath that he's got to deal with, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna take the L. I lost my girl to Chris Brown.
He paid for it too. He paid for losing his girl. So, prayers to them.
That's rough.
Good for her. They're not meant to be together. So,
yeah,
that's all I could take from that. I would hate to be in that type of situation, but you just try to laugh it off, I guess.
She hit him with the double hook under his legs to pull. Nah.
She had to hold on. He was moving around like, come on. I don't falter for being starstruck in that type of moment. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, kudos to her. Good for her. She got a nice dance.
Yeah,
she got a really nice dance.
Yeah. Speaking of nice dance, This Is America, when that shit dropped in 2018, man. I remember where I was at. I was in Barcelona when that video dropped, and I was like, shit, like I had to buy tickets to his man's tour this year because this shit is hot. But it was so hot that, just like Blurred Lines back in 2013, someone was like, yo, he stole my whole flow.
Yeah.
So there was a lawsuit.
They tried it.
There was a lawsuit for a similar song that was released. What was that? 2016?
Yeah, it was released 2016. His song was Childish's song was released in 2018.
Yes.
But they said this song, like, he had been working on it since 2015 or something like that. So even before the other person's song was released. So it's I mean, listen, anything Childish, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, the judge dismissed the lawsuit finally. Mm-hmm. So they said, oh, like, you're not going to get any money for this. I think, I don't know. It's so hard. When I first heard like the song that the guy said he copied off of, I was like, oh shit, it does sound very similar.
Yeah.
But clearly his lawyers weren't good enough to really to make a good case.
Yeah, because the judge was like, oh, you could tell that these songs, the chorus is nothing alike. Like, I think Childish may have played some dirty games with that judge, but it is what it is. His lawyer said, we are grateful for the court's decision. No case existed here, and as there was no infringement, let alone a copyright registration, it was obvious from a simple comparison of the two songs in a review of Copyright Office records. So it's done.
Shout out to Gambino for winning that. Hopefully, he said he's not going to retire the Childish Gambino name. He should be hopefully releasing more music sometime soon. It's been a long time. But he did just release a new show, Swarm, on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Did you get a chance to watch that?
So I did get a chance to watch the first few episodes. You watched some of it as well, right? How many episodes did you watch?
I watched the whole thing. I finished it on my birthday.
You finished it?
It was a similar experience to Troy, watching Coming to America 2 on his birthday. I was just like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah. I mean, as I watch it, I just don't really and I think you may have said this to me before. I don't really understand the point and the main character. I don't think it's not clear to me, like, just where things are going, the reasoning behind decisions. Like, it just seems like random stuff keeps happening, and that's kind of it, and it's all because of her fandom for Naja.
Yeah, the fake Beyonce.
Yeah, the fake Beyonce. So, I think the acting is fine. I like certain parts of it.
Yeah.
But the overall storyline, I think you're right. It's the writing of the main character that kind of throws it off and makes it just too ambiguous.
How many episodes did you watch?
I watched 3.
3, okay.
Yeah.
Troy, did you get through it yet?
I only saw the first episode like 2 nights ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think from the first one?
I don't know yet. It's still too early to tell.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, I guess.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first episode. I did, but by the time I got to the last episode, I fucking hated it. Like, yeah. Honestly, I kind of understand where they're going, but when you see the way this shit ends, I want to hear what you think, because I feel like it couldn't have ended any worse. And
Damn.
it just really pissed me off. And yeah, all the episodes kind of were like one-offs. I didn't feel connected to the story. It's just like, oh, let's put this character in these different environments and, you know, try to make references, you know, to things that happen within our culture. And then, you know, but it's not really linear at all. Like, and yeah, the last episode was a real fucking slap in the face. The ending of it was really bad. The acting was good. Was really good.
Yeah, I thought the acting was good too.
Yeah.
But it's the character development, and like it's hard to follow. It reminded me of some show I just recently started watching on Netflix. It's a Spanish show, but it's called like Who Are We Running From? And it's about this mother and daughter who are basically running away because the mother killed her family, or thought she did, because they were mean to her, and then they also wanted to kill her unborn child.
Damn.
But it was like it's very similar in the way that things happen, where anytime there's a remote threat to her kid, she kills that person.
Gotcha.
Same as with Swarm, where anytime there's a remote threat to Naja, she kills that person. It's very similar.
Yeah, and I feel like what they're trying to convey in this show has been done so much better. Like, you know, American Psycho is one of my favorite movies ever.
Really good movie.
You know, and like it really kind of shows someone who's psychotic unraveling, and you feel a sense of why they're doing what they're doing, and you get a sense of they're crazy.
Yeah.
This, you don't really get a sense of the character's craziness. I mean, they allude to it loosely, but and also Hated in the Nation by Black Mirror. When it comes to like fandom and obsession, like honestly, they you can't touch that. Like that episode, if you want to see like people's behavior using social media or taking things to the extreme, I think that is just it's you can't touch that. So I think I've seen this executed like just so much better in the past, and also I get disappointed when, you know, it's just all like all these cameos from famous people. It's just like, come on, like build something that stands on its own outside of having Billie Eilish or Macaulay Culkin's little brother's penis, or you know, whatever else is going to make headlines. Chloe Bailey's ass, like for real, that's what was making the headlines. Or Malia Obama wrote on this. It's like, but what about the fucking story? But hey, you know what? You never know what stories are going to move people, because Kanye West, he watched 21 Jump Street, and he said it changed his way of viewing Jewish people. He said, you know, he loves Jonah Hill. He said, watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again. No one should ever take anger against one or two individuals and transform that into hatred towards millions of innocent people. No Christian can be labeled anti-Semite knowing Jesus is Jew. Thank you, Jonah Hill. I love you. He put that on Instagram a few days ago. Do you think this is enough?
Enough for what?
I don't know. I don't know. For him, is this an apology? Like, and also like 21 Jump Street, like of all movies, like this is what Kanye is so random, yo.
It's disrespectful. It's like, really? This is what made you realize that you can't speak out against the Jews publicly.
For real. That's like Papa John being like, yo, I watched Friday.
Yeah.
I changed. It changed my mind about black people. Yo, I love Chris Tucker. Like, what the fuck? It's like movies are powerful. 21 Jump Street, like that, and Jonah Hill too. Like
that movie is ass.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bad. It's not a good movie.
Damn, that shit came out so long ago too.
Exactly, like over a decade ago.
Did he just get on Tubi or some shit? Like, is that?
I don't know.
Like, oh man, yeah. And honestly, I know he's cool with Jonah Hill. I don't really like Jonah Hill. I don't know. He gets on my nerves, and I don't like the movie he directed. Mid '90s. It's just not for me.
What
Also,
movie is that?
I hated. Well, I didn't even see that movie. The Kenya Barris movie. You People. I was gonna say I hated it, but I hated the preview. That's fair enough.
Matt loved it.
You loved You
No,
People?
Nat did. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh shit! I was about to say, why didn't you tell us?
I have not seen it yet.
Are you gonna watch it?
I'm not excited to watch it. Everybody said they hate it.
Oh,
Anybody black said they hate it. The only
Okay.
person that I heard liked it was Nat.
Damn.
And she loves corny shit. So
You don't trust it.
yeah.
I got you. I don't trust it either. I mean that trailer looked terrible. But you think Ye is like, is he a changed man? You know, he's been pretty quiet lately. So you know, he's married now again. And he's watching 21 Jump Street, and he has a change of heart.
Well, listen, I'm glad that Kanye has, made an initial step. I guess I don't even know what this is. I think he's just trolling. Honestly, I really think he's trolling. Maybe he really feels this way. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's like, oh, Jonah Hill is the one person I can reach out to that will help bring me back into the limelight with a offering or a fucking olive branch to the Jewish community. I don't know, but this is dumb to me.
Yeah, they actually asked Jonah Hill, like when he was walking out of a restaurant, he just ignored the paparazzi. So yeah, he wanted no parts.
Dang, no cosign. It's not good if you can't get the public cosign.
Yeah, prayers to Kanye. I hope he's good. I'm glad, he's enjoying life, watching movies, and having a change of heart, being positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny as hell though. Like, what the hell?
I don't know, man. He's just grasping at straws. We heard that stuff about him and Adidas for a little bit, and then it kind of like just fell really silent.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's been very quiet for him the last few months compared to what we had for the last 2 years.
Whenever he's like releasing something, he like stops taking his meds, and then we just don't stop hearing from him. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Was watching 21 Jump Street a part of like the list that the list of tasks Kyrie Irving had to do before he returned to the Nets? Was that like one of the things? Like, who knew?
It might have been. I'm sure they had a list of movies for him to watch or things for him to read or people to talk to, whatever it was. I know the what is that group called? I don't want to be like insensitive.
It's okay, man. All these racial things, people are confused. Who is who?
Yeah.
Who could say what? Who can do what? We talked about biracial people. I brought up Logic. You said get the fuck out of here. He struggled with identity issues. He put out a folk cover of Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day."
He did.
To
trash.
Pretty much everyone hated it.
Complete trash.
And I feel like he's been trying to prove his blackness ever since he's come out. He actually released a video with his dad, his black father, recently.
Let's take a look. You let us know in the comments what you think about this.
Hey, Daddy, what you got to say to the world?
Hey, what's going on? It's time to go night-night.
If you had advice for anybody out there, what would it be, Dad?
Keep it real.
Keep it real all the time, nigga. You already know what it is.
When keeping it real goes wrong, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Say what? The fuck? That's that Chappelle. Hey, Daddy.
Damn. Did he say nigga?
He snuck it in there. He snuck it in there, and it sounded really weird, right?
It did sound weird. Like I barely heard it. Actually, I had to see other people saying that he said it, and I was like, damn, he had to bring out his black dad for him to get his N-word pass. Like, it's crazy, man.
This is bad. Like, he's been in the media for a while now, and I don't know. For me, I know him and his dad have a very strange sort of relationship and history. Like, he's talked about it before with, his dad selling drugs to family members and all that craziness and not really being there for them. But his dad clearly looks older. His dad looks like a bald Smokey Robinson or something like that. And
his dad kind of looks like, he's your color. You know what I mean? Like, he's very. Do you think about that? Like,
I don't know if he's as light as me. He maybe in the summertime. He's got a little bit more color to me.
Yeah, because I think about that shit. I'm like, damn, if I were to have a kid like with a white woman, like, they can come out like Logic and barely look black, and it's just like,
do you want that?
it's like, yo, could they say nigga, like, or am I gonna be like, listen, Whitey, you better watch your mouth.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. For me, my dad actually is black. I don't know. I'm not trying to throw shade at Logic's
You
dad
just
or anything
did.
like that, but I'm just saying my dad is black, and I don't think I've ever said nigga around my dad ever.
Wow.
And even from him, I don't think I heard it until I was like over 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
Like he didn't use that. But also, my dad was born in 1943. He went through like shit with civil rights and stuff like that. He ended up marrying a white woman. They've been together for 50 years. Like, there's a whole different sort of journey that happened. And I think because of that, that's why that word wasn't really prevalent in my household.
Or, I mean, it, for me, I mean, I use that word sometimes, but not that much, like seldomly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was used like in my household, but not like excessively. I would say more, for me, it's like more of like a hip hop culture type of thing I've grasped on. But, and the same thing with Logic. He is a rapper. He did grow up with his white mom, and I feel like he's been trying to fit in. And, I feel like it's sad that he has to put his old ass dad in TikToks to say nigga oddly. It's just like, damn, bro. You don't have to do this. Logic, I'm just letting you know, man, you don't have to do this. Like,
you don't. Listen, just be yourself. Be yourself. Stop trying to pander to a community that clearly does not appreciate you. Because we don't like your music. We don't listen to you. And we really don't think you're black. So you don't have to try to fit in with us.
Damn, Brian speaking for the entire black community.
I'm just saying, like, look at what he's doing. He's clearly trying to reach for something that's not already there. Yeah. Listen, growing up, you know what I did hear? Negro.
Okay.
I didn't hear nigga, but I heard Negro. But again, that's a sign of the times. My dad grew up when they were saying that. Yeah. He grew up at a time when he had to use a different water fountain and stuff.
Yeah,
and he would sneak and drink from the white one and be like, "Nah, this tastes the same." Like, it was like that.
Or meanwhile, Drake and J. Cole co-headlining Dreamville this weekend. They're both biracial. They both have white mothers, but nobody questions them at all. They don't have to pose with their black dad to be like, I don't even know what J. Cole's dad looks like. Like, we've seen Drake's dad. Like, he makes himself seen. He got Drake tattooed on his body.
Yeah.
He's official. But why do you think Logic gets treated so differently? Do you think it's because he's so like outspoken about his racial identity that it kind of makes it weird, or do you think it's because he looks like a white man, or just everything about him?
I think that it's a combination of things. I remember the first time I ever heard Logic, I said, okay, on this track he sounds like J. Cole. Okay, on this one he sounds like Eminem. All right, this one he sounds like Drake. Like, he's never been an artist, at least for me, that has his own sort of style, swag, flow, cadence, any of those different adjectives that you might want to throw into music when it comes to rap. So that was always the first thing for me. And then after that, I saw what he looked like. I was like, oh, this is like Asher Roth. And then after that, like, it's just been the way that he moves through the industry. It's corny. He's not cool.
Yeah, but he tries to be nerdy. He like leans into the nerd shit, but,
and I'm sure that works for his fans.
Yeah,
but if you're trying to get people from our community, I know for me it doesn't work. And I'm not the most blackety black motherfucker out here, but it just doesn't resonate.
Black. We went over this.
I'm just saying.
Yo, you know what? Let's not get into too much trouble, because other people have lost their jobs for saying similar things. Logic's dad would have came in handy to this anchor woman in Mississippi who apparently she did not earn her N-word pass because
No, she didn't.
she was fired. She was fired from her job because she's a Snoop Dogg fan. She got a little bit excited, and yeah.
Listen to what her placement of this joke.
Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle. I'm telling you. Julie, what you think about that?
Can we hear that again, man? Please.
We can. Let me bring it back.
Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle. I'm telling you. Julie, what you think
my
about
nizzle.
that?
Oh man, she lost her job for saying for shizzle my nizzle, man. You could tell it got a little bit awkward. She was in Mississippi. She's quoting Snoop Dogg. They said, "Oh, she's such a fan. You know, she'll get a Snoop Dogg tattoo." She said, "Yeah, for shizzle my nizzle."
Yeah.
What do you make of this? Like, I thought it was hilarious.
I think it's hilarious, but at the same time, I just don't know why she felt the need to say it. And she paid the price for it.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, there's certain things that as like an older white woman you probably shouldn't say, especially in Mississippi. And I don't even think that her news station, what is it called? WLBT. I don't think they really care about what she said. They're not trying to fuck up the money. And they're like, "You know what? You're old. It's time for you to retire."
Yeah, we tired. we tired of this because she also referred to a black reporter's grandmammy on air in the past, and you know she later apologized. I'm not sure if she apologized for saying for shizzle my nizzle, but honestly, like I don't know. I think it's good. I would if I was like watching the news, I would want her to say that every day. Personally, like just say it every day because I just think it's funny. No. And I think if she's in Mississippi, like I feel like she probably just says that like it's like good morning in Mississippi. Like it's like for shizzle my nizzle. Like they probably say it all the time. You know what I mean? They don't know what. I don't think she made that correlation. You know what I mean?
She can't do that when you have a Karen Bob haircut. And it's not even like you got highlights. That's like salt and pepper because you're naturally old as shit. Like you can't. No, for shizzle, that's not in your vocabulary.
It is in her vocabulary. Clearly, she's a Snoop Dogg.
Well, she can have it for the rest of her life now while she's fucking unemployed.
Nobody even says that anymore. It's not like
no one.
The year 2002.
Not a single person.
But, you know, to lose your job over that, I think is hilarious. So she's a legend. You know, hopefully she drops a mixtape. Maybe we'll have her on the live.
She was definitely on like probation or something like that for the grandmammy comment, and then she dropped this one. You could tell by the picture though. The guy next to her is just like, Jesus, what is about to happen? And then the lady that the other person off screen asked, "What do you think about that, Karen?" She's like, They clearly know that something is not right.
For shizzle my nizzle, yo, man, prayers to her. She was just trying to be cool.
It's over. It's over. Poor lady.
Yeah, poor lady, man. You know who I don't feel bad for her, but you know who I do feel bad for?
Who?
The fucking horse that CeeLo rode into a party down in Atlanta, man. This man rode a horse into Shorty Lowe's birthday party. R.I.P. Shorty Lowe.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Atlanta legend. I had no idea they were still celebrating this man.
Yeah, right.
But CeeLo took it a little bit too far.
It was a big party too. It was a big party. Let's take a look just at the horse, at CeeLo, and then the subsequent actions that happened. Oh, the horse just slipped. The horse did slip. Oh my god. And the horse was like slipping.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's all the costume people.
This isn't the biggest horse. This is like a relatively small horse.
Yeah. Badass.
Oh! Listen. If if you're getting ready to get on a horse or another animal, and your torso is the same size as that animal, you're probably too big.
Yeah.
You're probably too big for
This
that.
reminds me of you talk about stallions in the past, but I'm not saying nothing. Just having deja vu.
Shout out to Meg. Shout out to Meg.
No, that's a good observation though, because they are almost like the same size. You know,
That's what I'm
CeeLo,
saying.
he got a lot of criticism. You know, he broke his silence and said, "I felt like it could be fun and funny to make a grand entrance on this beautiful animal for a very special occasion."
He was
Now,
right. He was right.
PETA came out strong against CeeLo. They said it doesn't take a genius to know that horses don't belong at a noisy, crowded party where slippery floors and strobe lights can antagonate these vulnerable animals. So, you know, the horse did not seem happy to be in the club. I know me personally, I don't like to be in clubs like that either, especially if CeeLo Green is on my back. I that's torture.
Yeah. CeeLo, listen, if this tells you anything, it means that you got to lose some weight, man. Like, honestly, I really like your music. You're a legend in your own right, but it's time to do something. You either got to get the gastric bypass, you got to go to the gym, you got to get the liposuction, like whatever you got to do. But you're bigger than a horse.
Oh shit.
That's bad.
Oh man. Shout out to CeeLo. You know, sometimes you just want to make a big entrance into a party, but I feel like he took it a little bit too far.
Yeah. But I found some other videos that were quite longer, and he was on that horse for a long time.
Oh my god.
He
for
was
real?
on that horse like outside talking to people and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the horse's skinny ass legs are over here shaking and shit. Like that horse did not. You could tell it wasn't that big of a horse because the ass wasn't fat like that. Pause. Like, I'm just saying that on a
What
horse,
the
the
hell?
butt got to be really big, and you got to have some big legs if you're a fat person.
Oh my god.
Anytime you see the ladies that get on the horses when they're on vacation in like Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, stuff like that, those horses are bodacious. They got even the women with the big fake booties and stuff, the BBLs, their butts don't stand a chance next to that horse's butt. But
Word.
CeeLo, like,
the butt ratio was off.
yeah. He's way too fat for that horse.
Oh man. You know,
Hate to see it.
prayers
Hate
to the
see it.
horse.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
bad for that horse. It could have really hurt itself.
Yeah, it looked freaked out.
CeeLo got up afterward, looked like he was ready to fight somebody. Like, it's your fault.
Yeah, for real. That's scary, especially I couldn't imagine being on a horse and like losing control the way Gwyneth Paltrow, you know, skis. Like I don't know, like
Yeah, no.
Oh man, prayers to the horse. Also prayers to Tekashi 6ix9ine who got his ass beat last week.
Woo.
You know, his baby mom spoke out and she said, you know, this is very embarrassing to, you know, their 7-year-old daughter who will likely, you know, see this when she grows up.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I'd be forgetting Tekashi even has a kid. Like having a famous parent, see them get the shit beat out of them. Do you think that's something, you know, that's going to scar her for life?
That should be like the least of her worries. Like, I think that his baby mom, she's been in the news for a variety of reasons. Her name is Sarah Molina because, listen, I believe in equality here, Women's History Month and all that. And she's been in the news for years now. She's done interviews on Vlad TV and like all these different platforms talking about how he's a deadbeat dad, doesn't, you know, give child support, how, you know, his visibility and stuff that he does in the public is impacting them. It's a fact. But you picked this man as your father. You knew that he had face tattoos and stomach tattoos and was a child trying to play a man's game.
And
knew
had
that-
money or was going to make money. He didn't well, by the time she had the kid, he did have money.
Yes, of course. But you knew that he had rainbow colored hair. Like, you knew who this was. Now, if you're upset now because, you know, things haven't panned out the way that you thought they might, that's on you. I got no sympathy for it. I feel bad for the kid, but that's your daddy.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I think it sucks, but hey, that's the life he's living, and you know, that kid's gonna have a lot of money to pay for college or whatever life she wants to live. So it just comes with the cost of fame, man.
I just this is the beginning because Takashi is 26 years old.
Yes, still super young.
So they had this kid when he was 19, and
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. They got 11 more years of this to deal with. Whether or not he pays child support or not, he's still going to be the parent until the kid is grown up, and even after that. So we're going to see more of this, and I don't know if his career is ever coming back. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, man, unfortunate stuff. But we got some real good news this week. It's Aries season.
That's right. Boom. Birthday celebration last week.
Hell yes, man. One of our favorite artists, Sean Fury. It was his birthday the other day. Shout out to Sean Fury.
Shout out to Sean, man. Happy belated birthday.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Sean Fury. And he dropped the song for us, and Shield.
He did.
He dropped the song. I know, when we had him on the live last year, he said he was working on an album.
He was in the lab.
Yeah, the album still hasn't come out, but he did drop a single for us, and that shit is fire.
Yes, it is. Let's hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna premiere it.
I'm going.
Really good.
This
Okay,
my
give me a
club.
minute.
I run shit.
Quick while we get these ads.
Flat.
Yeah,
And then
world premiere Sean Fury.
We're gonna drop it.
Yo, send fire emojis in the comments.
That's right. Let us know what you think about this song. Go to Sean Fury's page.
Excuse me for
Go to
a
our
moment
page.
if I come across rude, but I don't want a woman who acts like a dude. The rules of nature have already been set. A feminine woman is what I'm looking to get. And she'll want me, she'll need me, and she'll love me, and there's no regret. And she'll want me, she'll need me, and she'll love me, and there's no regret.
Let's go, Sean!
My
Woo!
standards are simple, so
All right. That's
We gotta get to the second verse, man.
Oh, my bad. Listen, let's skip it for now because I don't want to play the whole first part again.
Oh yeah, I mean, because man, the way the song ends, like I got to hear that part too, man.
Really?
Yes,
all right.
yeah.
We'll run it back then.
Oh,
Say
you can't
less.
skip ahead.
I can skip ahead. Give me a minute.
there's no regret. My standards are simple, so don't you forget. I don't want a booty shaking all over the net.
All over the net.
Selling some coochie, just trying to collect. She'll value my opinion and earn my respect. And she'll want me, she'll need me, and she'll love me, and there's no regret. And she'll want me,
He knows how to
she'll
make a
need me, and she'll love me,
I feel like
and
this
there's
song's
no regret.
very relevant.
Now here is something I don't want you to miss.
Miss it.
Submissiveness will be rewarded with a kiss. The woman I choose knows how to persist. Competing for my affection is why she exists. And she'll want me, she'll need me, and she'll love me, and there's no regret.
Oh, man.
And she'll
Shout out to Sean
want
Fury,
me,
man.
she'll need me, and she'll love me, and there's no regret. And she'll want
Yeah,
me,
everyone stream this.
she'll need
sure the
me,
music
and
video will come out
she'll
soon.
love me,
Yeah, the music
and
video
there's
is
no
pretty
regret.
good.
And
Man, his videos are the best, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but what you think about the lyrics, man? It's Women's Month, and this is the type of woman that Sean Fury is looking, to wipe down.
I think this probably lands with a lot of guys.
Really?
You know, we're looking for somebody that wants us, needs us, loves us, and somebody that's
Someone who doesn't act like a dude.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
he opens it
Don't
up.
act like a man. Don't shake your booty all over the internet, and that's kind of like bare minimum.
Word. I think it's great. You know, people ask me like, Julian, like, what do you look for in a woman? And now I'm gonna point them to this. I'm gonna point them to this song. I'm gonna be like, and chill, like that. That's my shit right there.
You
yo.
could always just create a playlist of like Sean Fury's music, and that'll really give you a well-rounded woman. Honestly,
Yo, he made a song. He literally made a song for every type of woman. But this specifically, I feel like, man, you know, he's spitting. He's spitting hot fire, man. He's like, I don't want a woman who acts like a dude. You know, don't be shaking your booty all over the net.
mm-hmm.
You know, I think he's preaching. I think he's preaching.
Listen, you know, it's always nice when a man knows what he wants. It's in the same for a woman, and I think that's that kind of confidence, that kind of, you know, just complete understanding, self-awareness. It's really important, and it's missing from a lot of people these days.
Nah,
Yeah.
100%, man.
Yeah.
I hope he drops an album soon, because I need more of this. Like for real, that shit is gonna be on my on repeat Spotify playlist very soon, because I've been, you know, going through it, you know, since it dropped a few days ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we see a lot of couples saying what, you know, saying what they want out of their relationships. There's this one couple who, you know, had some interesting vows. His groom, you know, shocked his wedding guest and his mom, who was like marrying him and his wife. They said he put the sick in sickness and in health in his in his wedding vows. Now, more than almost 19 million views on this TikTok footage of this man's wedding vows.
Yeah. I think we can play it and at least let you listen to what he's saying real quickly, because he's definitely got some interesting vows. So let's give it a listen.
Only two things are required to keep me happy: keep my belly full.
Oh my-
What?
Yo, he's wild.
Nah, this man is.
He's spitting?
I mean, I just don't. Those aren't vows. Like,
Are they not vows? I mean, they seem like they're his vows. I don't know.
I mean, aren't vows supposed to be like what you plan to do in the relationship? Like, I'm vowing to do XYZ versus like you need to be able to cook better.
The commenters said they cannot hear the video.
Oh, you couldn't hear the video? Oh, damn, man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Shit. We could just read it then.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Shit. They break it all
sucks.
up.
Yeah, they do break it up. That's annoying. So basically, for everybody that didn't hear, the groom said that there's only two things that are required to make him happy. They are keeping his belly full and his genitals empty.
He said my balls.
He did say my balls. He said, though you're amazing at half of it, we really need you to get some cooking lessons. And, you know, there were some laughs and groans from the crowd. Then he said, even if my belly isn't full, there's no one I would ever love more in this lifetime unless I actually get a chance to meet Margot Robbie. Again, his wife is giggling. She puts her own sheet of vows apparently in front of her face to laugh her smile or cover her smile.
Yeah, and his mom his mom says Michael when he starts mentioning gagging and
Yeah.
the headboard hitting the wall. Now, do you think people do shit like this just for the clout, just for like the millions of views? Because it seems like the wedding videographer put this on TikTok himself. It wasn't the actual couple, but like, do you think people just do this shit for the internet, or like, because it seemed like he was just trying to be a comedian? Maybe it's just his personality, but I thought it was wildly inappropriate. Like, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on a wedding and then take it as a joke. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much money they spent on the wedding. They seem to be outside. His mom is the person that's like actually marrying
They're
them.
in the woods with a sheet on the tree.
Exactly. So
You're right.
It seems like a country sort of quick wedding that's happening. But I probably wouldn't do this in front of my family. Like, these are some funny ones. If you want to have the vows for the ceremony, and then something that you and your wife talk about like later on before you consummate the marriage that night or something like that, that would probably be really funny. But in that setting with my family, it probably would not. It would not work.
Yeah, you know,
It would
read
not
the
work.
room, as we say.
Yeah.
You know, or the forest. You know?
To be honest with you, I think my mom would probably think it was funny, but she would also be like, "This is inappropriate for the setting with the rest of your family here."
Yeah. This is not how you should, like, you know, talk to the person you want to spend the rest of your life with in front of everybody.
Yeah, not in front of everybody.
You know,
Not in front of everybody.
bad timing, bad taste. I did laugh, you know, at the fact that his mom was just like, Michael, like in the middle of him saying this nasty shit. But you know, his wife seemed to like it, so they seem to, you know, be on the same page at least. So we'll see how their marriage goes.
A vow is defined as a solemn promise to do a specific thing. I don't think that was very solemn.
You know, every relationship is different.
Solemn means formal and dignified. That was not solemn.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was nasty.
Yeah, this is a redneck wedding. I'm sorry.
Damn. Yeah, well, they at least they, you know, got together and they professed their love for each other.
Of
She
course.
seemed to enjoy it.
She thought it was funny.
Yeah.
She did. Good for them. Good for them. If that's the dynamic they got going on with their family, then more power to you. But yeah, kind of different. I feel like there's a lot of people that are just doing stuff for the gram, doing stuff for the TikTok, doing stuff for like shits and giggles.
Yeah, and
these
keep
days.
doing it, guys. We love it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it every week and highlight it for everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. You know, follow everywhere. We're live for the first time on Twitter today.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yes.
Worldwide.
But yeah, man, like people do anything to keep their marriage together. This one couple in Long Island, you know, the husband was cheating on his wife. So they found a girlfriend who looks just like the wife.
Yeah, they
And together I don't even know what to make of these people, but they have their own YouTube channel. I don't know. This is an odd situation. I feel like they're, you know, trying to promote their YouTube channel, obviously through, you know, their TikToks and stuff. But she said this saved her marriage, finding a twin for her husband. Now he does not cheat because, you know, he has two of her. She said they've gotten a lot of backlash. You know, she said she's gotten a lot of backlash. You know, she's Pakistani, and she says a lot of, you know, Muslim people.
Is she really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What?
She said, I'm Pakistani and was raised Muslim. On social media, it's men from my culture and my background that are judgmental.
This is the second week in a row we've had somebody from the Middle East that is wild.
It's Ramadan, you know. Shout out to all of our Muslim followers and
shout out
subscribers.
to
We love you guys.
everyone that's Muslim and fasting and being, you know, steadfast Muslims. That's really impressive. But y'all are wild.
Yeah, their YouTube channel is called Love Don't Judge.
Yeah.
He says he's never going to cheat again because he's fulfilled with having, you know, two girls. I don't know. As a black person, I feel like they're all in blackface. I don't know. it kind of adds, insult to what they're doing. It's strange, man. I don't think this is a good look. But
that didn't even cross my mind. But it's so true.
yeah, it's strange. But what do you think about this, man? Like, is this the type of situation that you would like to be in if you were this guy?
Nah, these three actually, they all look like they watched Jersey Shore growing up, and they were like, "This is me. This is who I want to be for the rest of my life." And then they did it. They did it. They got the nails, they got the hair, they got the eyelashes, they got the tats, they got the tits, they got everything that they needed to become Jersey Shore.
I don't even know if this is Jersey Shore, man. They look. I don't know what they look
Well,
like.
no,
man.
but
They
it's-
look like
it's
Rachel Dolezal in a brat stall.
It's
mixed
exactly
together.
like Jersey Shore, because the Jersey Shore people, only like one of them was actually from Jersey. Everybody else was from New York or elsewhere.
Mhm.
And these people, they're from Long Island, except for their new, their third, which is from Australia now.
Damn, they went down under to get that third. I'm sensitive when it comes to Jersey Shore, bro. You can't
True.
talk shit.
That's true. No, listen, I love the Jersey Shore. I've grown up around Jersey, in Jersey for my whole life, but this is a wild trio.
Yeah, then they have an OnlyFans account, that they share. So it's all in the family. They got a YouTube account. What do you make of this? Do you think we're going to see like more shit like this? People just trying to pimp out their relationships for content. And do you think that this type of situation can work? Because you famously said like you would get your girl and your side chick the same type of gift. What if they looked exactly the same? Does that even make it easier? Or like
no, that's a different line that we're crossing right there.
Okay.
I meant that solely from a standpoint of, it's easy. You don't have to wonder what you got one versus the other. You won't trip up if you're talking about the gift you got her in the past or anything like that. That has a little bit of a different sort of perspective, but this is just, they look nasty to me. That's me. That's my personal stuff though. Like you know me, I don't like all the fake shit, and they are clearly like Build-A-Bears. But it's just,
listen.
if he's happy, which he seems very happy in the pictures, then more power to him. More power to him. But I don't think that could work for me. If you were gonna have a third person join in a relationship with you and your partner, would they be like a virtual twin of your partner, or would they look different?
Yeah. Did you show what they look like?
Yeah, I
okay.
showed.
I mean, I don't know. You have to pick a favorite, right? Like, I don't know if you'd favor like the new person, but they don't look exactly alike. They look similar. They try to look similar, but they're obviously different.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly for content, honestly. I don't
You think it's only for content?
mostly like 90% for all parties involved.
I can't deal with me personally. I couldn't deal with two women in the same house if it's just all for content.
Why? I think it would make it more simple because everyone's like, okay, we're doing this to make money. It's more like a business outside of, having to maintain like people's feelings.
Yeah, but in a business, you still got to maintain the relationship and rapport and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they get money. They got an OnlyFans. They got a little YouTube channel and stuff like that. But you have to be able to sustain this. I could not, if this was me and I was in a relationship and I stepped out the relationship, my girl decided, we're going to find somebody else to spice it up and help keep you loyal or whatever. I would not get her look-alike. That makes no sense to me. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I already stepped out on you once, you want it like you squared? Like, what do you, like, I need something else, clearly. I don't know. I would go a different direction.
Yeah. You want something. You want more diversity.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want some sort of balance. Like, if I'm gonna have a super fake chick, I'm gonna have a super real chick. Like,
do you remember that one couple who they got a sex doll that looked like the girl to be their third? At least this is a real person.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. This is a step up. This is less extreme than some of the other sex fetishes that we've seen.
Yeah, for sure. And while these women look alike, they're not related.
Not at all. No.
We do
No,
have
no.
another article of another couple who posted on TikTok that they were married. They got married, I believe, in 2006, only to discover they're actually fucking cousins.
Like literally fucking cousins.
Yes. They put up this TikTok that got almost 3 million views.
Yeah.
And explained, that they, went on myheritage.com
Mm-hmm.
and they realized
Never
that they
even heard
actually
of that site.
yeah,
Never
they
heard of
shared ancestry, man.
Yeah.
They had a match of 62 cm, which I don't fucking know. Like I have my ancestry DNA, and I don't understand like those little units of measuring either.
Yeah.
But either way, everybody was disgusted, and
Yeah.
man, people were like, "Girl, that's disgusting, bro. This could have been a secret." My literal jaw dropped. I rebuked this. Y'all even look alike. How do y'all not know? People were outraged in the comments, and honestly, I feel disgusted by this story as well. I feel this is way worse than having a third, who looks like your wife. This is your actual cousin.
I mean, what does fifth cousins really mean?
What do you mean?
So they're related in terms of being like fifth cousins. What that means is that they share a set of great 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 grandparents with you.
Mm.
That's 4 greats before you say grandparent. Is that really that crazy? Like, I'm just asking. I don't know. I've never encountered this. My girl is a completely different race and ethnicity. I don't have to worry about that. But, like, is it that bad?
Listen, they said all of their kids have all 10 fingers and all 10 toes, which I don't know. I don't know how that makes this that much better. I think they could have kept this to themselves. That's what I think. If you marry someone you don't know that you're related, don't tell anybody. I don't want to know. I don't think anyone should know. You're doing it just for what? So people could fucking see it and talk about it. Like, does this turn you on? Is this something that you're proud of? I think it's just kind of like gross. But hey, they're a happy family. They've been married almost 20 years. But yeah, I did not need to know that they were cousins. But hey, now we're talking about them. But I think if you find out you're married to your cousin, keep that shit to yourself. We don't need to know. We don't need to know. Like, I'm sure you guys, just so happy we met at a family reunion. We didn't know. Get the fuck out of here.
Let us know what you think in the comments about this, because I mean, I just don't know. Like, fifth cousin seems to be pretty. That's 5 generations away.
Okay, so you got a counter. You're like, fifth cousins. That's far enough.
I mean, I'm not saying it's far, and I'm not giving a verdict or anything. I'm just saying I don't really have a decision on this. They've been together for 17 years at this point. They have 3 kids.
Yeah, married for 17
Yeah, married for 17 years, 3 kids. If I found this out, I definitely wouldn't share it with anyone. I'd probably be like, listen, this is between the 2 of us. We're not telling anybody else in our family. Hopefully they never do ancestry.
A family secret.
Like there's certain things that maybe on your deathbed you tell the kids. You don't tell the whole world. Like, as soon as you find out, hey, we're actually cousins and we've been going at it for a very long time. Like, you probably don't do that, but it's not like they went to a family reunion and saw all the same people.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, but at least their kids are healthy, and maybe they'll follow suit, and maybe they'll get with their cousins. I mean, we're all really cousins,
Hopefully not.
right?
Hopefully not. Listen, we don't play that "We Are the World" shit. Don't do that. Listen. I'm gonna say this is nasty. It's ill-advised, but if it's gonna be a family member, fifth cousin is probably like, that's where the line is. You should probably be like, all right, fifth cousin.
That's where the line is.
I would guess that's 5 generations to go back to find the connection is pretty. That's pretty far back.
Yeah.
That's a couple hundred years.
That's true. Yeah, it's still something that I think shouldn't be publicized. But hey,
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Hopefully they made money. Yeah, strange.
Some of this nasty shit, y'all got to keep to yourselves. I'm tired of it.
I'm not tired of it. Keep it coming. We need this shit. This is the best. I didn't even mean to do that.
Were you trying to hit shame?
No, I was trying to hit the applause. I was trying to clap.
It should have been shame.
I know. Oh man. But yeah, you know, not everybody is married. You know, a lot of people are out there dating.
That's right.
And a new poll says that 47% of Gen Z daters think men should take the lead in relationships. And this, you know, is directly related to Sean Fury's song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really reminded me of that. And it shows that the youth is in alignment with that. You know, it says 40% of Americans believe that it is best if the man takes the lead, according to data from Bumble's State of the Nation 2023 survey. It says perhaps even more surprising is that almost half, 47% of Gen Z respondents subscribe to this belief. So it shows that also only 11% of the survey respondents said that women should make the first move on a dating app. Now, this is also very interesting because Bumble is the one who did this survey, and Bumble's whole thing is like women make the first move, and in their own study,
what
it
they
shows
built their platform on.
only 11% of people want to do that shit. So, like, why would they even put this out? You know, but what did you take from this, man? Was this surprising to you?
I mean, listen, I think some of this it's a little surprising, especially with the way the dynamics have gone in recent years, with the way that people interact, equality, like women, you know, obviously taking the lead in a lot of different areas, being more aggressive, being more independent. Again, happy Women's History Month. But for me, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I think it's pretty common to expect that, you know, men are supposed to be the lead when it comes to showing, you know, interest, taking people on date, asking them out, approaching them at the club, whatever it might be, paying the bill, which we've talked about a couple episodes ago. So
Yeah.
I think that this is, you know, this is par for the course right now.
Yeah, it says despite a very large push and progression towards gender equality, the dating landscape still is grounded in more traditional gender roles and beliefs. This is a dating coach who's speaking on this, and she says, as a dating coach, I often observe that women tend to hesitate around making initial advances and have some expectations that men are going to take the lead on asking them out, planning dates, paying for dates, and initiating physical touch. Now, I would say, as a man, as a single man, I usually take the lead. I mean, I feel like I take the lead on most things, just in my personality. But I've been out with women who kind of initiate certain things. It's very rare though. But I'm never like it's never a turn off if I'm interested. But I would say I do feel like it is on me to kind of if I'm interested in a woman, I think it's on me to like, okay, I'm gonna set something up. I'm gonna have things figured out because they want a sense of security. Women need to feel like you know what's going on because at the end of the day, like I don't know, it's like a real threat to them. Like meeting up with a guy that they barely know when you're just getting to know someone. As a guy, we don't have that same type of fear, so I think it's like on us to create like a more comfortable environment and kind of get a feel for things. And to me, it's just like I like that part of dating. Like I like being able to think and actually like plan something out and take that first step. And I think, you know, what surprised me about this was that the percentage was a little bit higher for younger people. And also it surprised me that Bumble, like, they only got 11% of people who like their shit, their business model too. So
sabotage themselves. But I mean, I agree. I think that women want a man who's confident. And the way that you show confidence is in a lot of ways leading, taking charge of different situations. I know for me, you know, thinking back to when I was on Tinder and first messaged my girl, I was the first one to send a message. She took like a month to answer.
Damn.
I thought I was like, all right, on to the next. And then she finally got back to me. I was still the one, initiating a lot of the early interactions and things like that. But I think women also use that as a defense mechanism. Like, is this person really interested in me? I don't want to put myself out there so that it seems like I'm thirsty as a woman, like that sort of stuff. So I get the dynamic, and I get why it hasn't changed, especially in a time when women just have to be more protective of themselves. We saw Jonathan Majors, how he's out here moving.
Okay.
Like, I'm just saying. Troy, what do you think? When you first started dating your lady, did you initiate? How did that go?
Yeah, no, I initiated most of the stuff. We met on Tinder. We matched, I
Hey.
reached out, got ghosted, matched again, got ghosted, met up in person, and it's all from there.
There you go. There you go.
So you both found your significant others on Tinder.
Look at that. Tinder, listen, Tinder gets a bad rap now. I know that's like the hookup site and stuff like that, apparently, according to my my other single friends, not kid from Neptune over here, but but I back in the day, way back in like those 2014, 15, 16 era, it was working.
Yeah. I mean, I've also gotten into like relationships off of Tinder, and I've also had, booty calls off Tinder. Like it's like it could go either way. You can meet people, from all around the world. You have to, go through the bots. So it's just like, just take the initiative and figure it out. That's how I feel.
Did you say bots or box?
Bots.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. The fake. Oh man, but
just running through boxes over here. Like
it's hard. It's hard as a single person. Nearly half of single people receive unsolicited nudes and get ghosted, according to a different report. The dating app Plenty of Fish, which I've never been on. I feel like it's a little bit old school.
Yeah.
They created a survey.
Do they have an app, or they just have online, like on desktop?
Bro,
on no
it
website?
says they have an app, so I'm pretty sure
Okay.
they better have an app.
Fair.
If you don't have an app, Plenty of Fish in 2023, then what's going on? And whoever is using that, like, I don't know. But but they said, they sampled British singles, and 48% of respondents said that they received unsolicited nude photos from a match or date. And 45% of the 48% said it made them feel disgusted. That means 55% didn't really care that much. So,
Yeah.
Do nudes work? Does this data support that? Okay, more than half of people aren't that offended by it. I mean, or is 45% of people being disgusted by it jump out for you? Because it says 48% of people experience this. Like, what number jumps out the most to you?
I mean, if you got a almost 50-50 chance of landing it, then is it that bad? Like, listen, it's been so long since I've sent one. I've never sent one like unrequested or like without consent or anything like that. Just let me put that on video. But
never put it on your Snapchat story like Draymond Green.
No,
know,
never. Draymond, Jamal Murray, like we can start calling people out. But I don't know. Like, I feel like most women say that they're grossed out by it, but if you got some grade A Iberia ham that you're sending to them, maybe they'll like it. I don't know. Like,
oh my God, I don't know either, man. But it said the survey found that 43% of daters have been ghosted, and 40% have been stood up for a date. I feel like ghosting is just a part of the culture now with the detachment and the internet. It's just like people don't want to be confrontational. I have both ghosted and been ghosted. I don't really. It's par for the course. It's what it is. I mean, if I'm really that invested in somebody, we had to have gone out, multiple times, over the course of a couple of months. And at that point, I've never been just ghosted after that, now that I think about it. But I have ghosted after that. It's just like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you don't really know these people. You don't owe them anything. Your time is valuable, people. You got to value your time and protect your peace and all those other cliche sayings that they have out there. They actually mean something. It couldn't be me out in these streets, like just I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be in a relationship right now. It's hard. It's hard dating, especially with, like you said, ghosting is normal,
Yeah.
and you can't take it personal.
I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
You can,
Yeah.
but what for? It brings no value to you. You're just going to get upset and hurt and your feelings, and then it'll take you longer to recover and get ready for the next relationship.
True. You can't be a bitter bitch. You just got to move on. Everyone stay strong. You'll
That's
find
right.
the one for you. Don't worry.
It's going to be a hot summer. I'm telling you that. It's already spring. It's warming up, at least in the New York City area. Wherever else you are in the world, get ready because it's going up. It's going up. People are outside.
Yeah, we outside. I'm outside.
Yeah.
FYI. All over the world.
That's right. If you have any trips, destination packages, anything like that you want us to promote, feel free to reach out to us, nochilllive@gmail.com. We're more than happy to take any merch and wear it. We will support and subscribe and do all the things that you would like for a low fee.
Low fee. Hell yeah. Donations. Subscribe, follow on all platforms, guys. There was another study, we doing a lot of research, guys, that says, laughing kind of shows romantic interest in people. And, it's always been like a joke between guys, like, when you bring a cute girl around, everyone wants to turn into a comedian. Everyone's trying to make the girl laugh, So this study kind of shows there's something to it. It says like when you laugh, you're more likely to laugh at someone you're romantically interested in. It kind of shows, more vulnerability. Was this surprising to you, or is it just like another study that explained the obvious?
Yeah, it's a study that confirmed what we already knew. I think it's been widely known that, you could be a guy and not the most attractive guy, the most fit guy, the most, well-off guy. And if you're funny, you'll be able to get somebody. I mean, listen, we've seen this recently with Kim Kardashian and all the other people that have dated Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious that if you're a funny guy, you can make somebody laugh. It's going to work in your favor. And I think guys have also known, like, if you laugh at a girl's jokes, even if she's not funny, she's going to feel good about that. And more often than not, she's not fucking funny.
Oh, man, come on.
I'm being honest. I feel like the only girls that are funny are girls that have brothers. Because it's like, no, your brothers will roast the shit out of you if you're not funny. They will bully you. They will treat you bad. But it'll make you, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, it's Women's Month, but I kind of agree with you. I think, the funniest women probably, have mental problems, but, a lot of people do.
Wait a second.
I don't know.
Isn't April Mental Health Awareness Month? We're getting ready. We're prepping right now, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting ready for this.
Exactly. I mean, I like to make people laugh. Like, that's a big part of why we do this, It's to bring joy. It's to find the humor in this dark-ass world we live in. Because there are some bright spots, and it's important to be able to laugh at things in life. And I find it, disarming, when I'm getting to know someone, to actually see if they're able to laugh at, things I find funny.
I did not mean to do that. That was a great placement, though.
Oh, man, for real. But yeah, I think it's definitely good to use humor and be on the same page, because for me, like, I don't know. Like, I know people see like this. If I'm out there dating and like, I have you can watch hours of us talking shit.
Yeah.
And people could be easily like offended by certain things we say. And it's just like, I want to have that out there, because if you can't handle that, then, you won't really mesh with me.
You can't handle the truth.
For real. So, laughter is important. It's good to see studies confirming what we already know. There's definitely also studies that are confirming, some dark things, man. It says 80%, this new study says up to 80% of workers could see their jobs impacted by artificial intelligence. And this has been an ongoing conversation for years.
Yeah.
And it's just been speeding up this year. 2023 is like the year of AI.
Chat GPT, man. Chat GPT. And we talked about this a few episodes ago, and now studies are already being done about it. I don't know how reliable a study is if it's talking about something that has not yet happened.
Yes, exactly. They're projecting for the future. There's no way of knowing, but they say like, 80% of the U.S. workforce could have at least 10% of their work tasks affected by the introduction of Chat GPT.
Yeah.
They also found that about 19% of workers may find at least 50% of their duties impacted by Chat GPT. Wow. These are pretty big numbers, and this shit just launched. Does this are you worried about this at all?
I don't think for me that it'll have as much of an effect, and I'm not saying that from like a pedestal standpoint, but more so from like our generation standpoint. I don't think that AI will be at the standpoint where it can really impact our future of work. But for the generations that are being born now, that are in school now and in like K through 12 and stuff like that, I think it's going to have a lot more impact for them. And I think thinking for myself, if I was growing up or a kid at this time or a parent at this time raising kids, I'd probably be putting a lot of emphasis on like STEM and, specialized skill sets if my kids are going to be going to college and stuff like that. Because other stuff, some of the easier liberal arts sort of majors and things like that, I think they're in danger.
Yeah. Watch out for the robots, guys. Not only on Tinder, but they're coming for your jobs too.
Yeah.
They're watching your stories on social media. They're fucking everywhere.
They really are.
You can't avoid it, It's like iRobot. So, everyone watch your back. Try to keep up with the times. I see it as a threat to humanity and society, but hey, it is what it is. You got to stay on top of things. Technology, we adapt. That's what humans do. And I just see us getting to a point where, it's like technology is running humanity and society more than we're using that to enhance our lives.
We've seen way too much in terms of comics and movies and things like that from years past, decades past, come into reality now.
Yeah.
And if you think the same thing isn't going to happen with all those Terminator movies, iRobot, and all these other things that we've seen from Black Mirror and stuff like that, I think you're sorely mistaken, and you're gonna be surprised.
Oh man, my mom just texted me the New York Knicks won.
Hey, what's the record now? 46 wins?
I don't know. I don't think that many. But yeah, man, that was a big win over the Heat. Shout out to the New York Knicks. That's their 44th win.
Okay.
44 wins, locking down the 5th seed.
Wow.
It's so funny. When we went to the game, it was late in the game, and Obi Toppin missed someone on defense, and they went and scored. And Jenna goes, "It's his fault," and points to him, and he looked at her.
He looked at her?
Yeah, he looked right at her.
Dang, y'all were that close.
Yeah. And then he went down and hit a 3. And I was
hey,
like,
big time.
Him,
Big time. Obi, it's a shame he hasn't gotten as much playing time this year as I thought he was going to get because of
Randall, But
yeah, Randall's been playing pretty well. It was a good rebound year for him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Speaking of basketball, Joel Embiid. We've been talking about the MVP race.
Yeah,
and Joel Embiid, he's been on fire. He's been on fire, and he said, "I like being the bad guy. I like being the asshole anyway." Like. He knows he's not well liked in the media, but he's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. He's embracing the villain role. The same way we saw LeBron kind of embrace that awkwardly when he went to Miami, and it didn't really work out for him. But
Well,
do you think that this is going to work out for Embiid, him being the bad guy? And do you think that he'll actually win the MVP this year?
Listen, I think it worked out just fine for LeBron. He got a couple rings in Miami. He was fine with that. But
Yeah, but when he was the bad guy, that's when he lost, and then
Yeah.
he cried, and then he had to get it together.
I mean the Mavs, man, the Mavs.
They were nice.
But with Embiid, this is always who he's been.
The asshole.
Yeah, he's always been Troel. Like Troel Embiid. That's his nickname. So this is like nothing new for me. I'm happy to see it. He's been balling out. The main thing though is you got to make it out of the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like and that's kind of been the brick wall that he has not been able to run through the last few years. So
then wasn't he was in the conference finals when Kawhi hit that shot, right?
no,
That wasn't the conference finals?
it wasn't.
Oh,
It was the
damn.
second round.
Damn,
And then,
I didn't realize that.
remember Kawhi? They played. Didn't they play the Bucks?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
They
they played
did.
the
Yeah, it
Bucks.
was Giannis and
Mhm.
that's true. Damn, you're right. Damn, they haven't gotten past because they lost to the Hawks like 2
Mhm.
years ago, so they can't get over that hump.
Exactly.
This is the year they need to do it.
They have to do it. They
yeah.
have to do it.
As a Knicks fan, like I don't want to play the top 3 seeds. I would rather play the Celtics than the Sixers. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the Knicks beat the Celtics multiple times this year. I mean I feel like we split the series with the Sixers, but we beat the Celtics I think three times. But I don't want to play the Bucks at all because they're just gonna.
no, they're
roll.
a championship team.
But
They're a
I hope
championship
Embiid wins the MVP this year. I really do.
I hope so.
He's been balling out. I
They're
think
neck
he
and
should have
neck
won it
right now.
last year.
It's going to be close. It's going to be really close to see what happens with them. It's definitely coming down to the wire. What do we have? Like another week maybe of NBA basketball? That's it. Yeah.
So, man, I'm excited, yo. Yeah, I guess the last thing we could leave the other stuff for next week.
Yeah.
Damn, we're pushing 2 hours, man.
Look at
We're
this.
pushing 2 hours of being live.
Listen,
This is amazing.
Who else is doing this? Who else is doing this? 2 hours on live, so consistent. We've been doing this for 3 years now. Like, listen, #1 live in the world, without a doubt. You know the vibes. Follow us at No Chill Live, all platforms. Anywhere that you stream videos, listen to music, we on there.
Subscribe.
That's right. Support.
Donations. We here. We doing this over 2 hours, and we could go another 2 hours. I feel like we have so many other topics that we're gonna save for next week.
Yeah.
But Lamar Jackson, he set Twitter on fire with his tweet when he said, he don't have an agent. He said, I gotta put this out myself. He said on March 2nd or some shit, like weeks ago, he formally requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. Do you think he's gonna be able to get the fuck out of Baltimore and get paid? He's playing a difficult game, especially without having an agent. Like, it's hard.
I really feel bad for Lamar. I want to say this. Fuck the NFL. Fuck the Ravens.
Damn.
Fuck the Atlanta Hawks owner, or not the Hawks, the Falcons owner. All those people, because this is clear collusion. And the last person, fuck John Harbaugh.
Ooh.
Because Lamar Jackson saved this man's career.
Damn.
The Ravens were going to fire him a few years ago, and Lamar had an outstanding season, got him to the playoffs when he took over for Joe Flacco, and literally saved his job. And now where is John Harbaugh now?
I mean, he's the coach, right?
I don't care, but he's been the coach of the Ravens for a decade.
Yeah, but he's not the GM.
Don't act like he don't have pull. Like he can't be like, yo, stop playing with this man, pay him. Like, no, I don't want to hear it. Because even if he didn't feel that way, he could have said something publicly.
Yeah.
Like he could have done anything other than sit there on his hands and keep his mouth shut.
No, I feel you.
Shame.
It's disgusting. You sit
Shame.
there as a league and you talk about how you want to support the players and make sure that they can play longer, and you come up with these rules to keep them safe and treat them right and all this other nonsense. You'll give $230 million guaranteed to a alleged molester, serial molester in Deshaun Watson, and let the Cleveland Browns do that. But when you have an MVP candidate you don't want to give him any money because you say, oh, he's not as available as we would like because he's only been able to play max like 15 games one season, and then the other seasons it's been 12 games. But meanwhile, the guy who had to sit out a whole year because he couldn't stop touching bitches, it's okay. I want to understand.
No, man, I get it, man. The NFL is fucked up.
It's disrespectful.
They have a history of this, and they didn't want him to play quarterback to begin with. He was successful as a quarterback. Troy, the Jets, they still haven't gotten their quarterback, man. What's up with that?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's taking so long. It's disappointing.
You think you're going to get Aaron Rodgers or?
We better. I mean, if we get him, as long as we get him, I'll be happy. But I mean, at this point, who knows?
The league, they let Green Bay give him $150 million, Aaron Rodgers, for 3 years. $50 million a year. At his age, he's 39 years old.
But he's a legend, bro.
He played like trash last year.
Okay.
And what now? He's trying to leave the team.
But that's up to the team to give him the money. And
of course, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But when have you ever seen it? 5 teams, the moment that Lamar became available, because the team they put a non-restrictive tag on him, meaning anybody could give him an offer. 5 teams immediately come out and say, nah, we're not trying to get Lamar. An MVP from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Who is only 26 years old. It's clear collusion. It's disgusting. And I'm going to tell you now, they're probably going to have a lawsuit. Because they probably want to wait until after the draft, see who ends up with what quarterbacks, and then they'll try to shake out whatever is going to happen with Lamar. But this is bad. They have the owners meeting right now this week.
Okay.
And to me, it's clear collusion.
Yeah, speaking of lawsuits, the Brian Flores lawsuit is still outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And, when the Kaepernick shit happened, and we heard what the owners were saying behind the scenes, Bob McNair saying we can't let the prisoners run the jail.
Exactly.
When Kaepernick, wanted to stand up for social justice as a black quarterback who got blackballed from the league, it's not surprising when this happens to a guy like Lamar Jackson, who they don't want to pay him. They want to keep him in the box. But I didn't fully I would say the Brian Flores shit, like how Bill Belichick texted him. Yeah, that kind of really proved that there really is an old boys club. There really is network.
It's nasty.
Because what the fuck did Bill Belichick have to do with
Nothing.
the New York Giants?
Exactly.
Was it the Giants or what? Who was the team that that was supposed to hire him?
I can't remember.
Shit.
Was it No, it was the Giants.
It was
because they hired Dabble instead.
Yeah.
So
it was the wrong Brian.
Yeah.
It was the wrong Brian.
That's what the whole confusion was.
Yeah. What does Bill Belichick have to do with the New York Giants, and why would he be sending a congratulations text before this man even went to interview? The Rooney Rule is just pure bullshit, and we see it happen every year. The NFL, they've been giving more money to social justice causes. They have Rihanna perform for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They're doing small things. They post end racism at the end of the end zone.
They're posers.
But, they still discriminate.
This whole thing has to do. It's not just about Lamar Jackson. Let me be clear on that, because I'm clearly upset that it's impacting Lamar like this, because it's wrong. But at the same time, it's not just about Lamar. They're trying to prevent a precedent from being set, because with Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, they fucked up the market by giving him that much money, his entire contract guaranteed. Oof. When you just saw Patrick Mahomes get a contract for $450 million, and his whole thing wasn't guaranteed. Yeah. You look at Josh Allen, his whole contract wasn't guaranteed. But they have all these young quarterbacks coming up now. So they're trying to protect the league in general. They got Jalen Hurts that has to get paid this summer. They've got Herbert coming up. They got Joe Burrow coming up. There's a number of people that are coming up on contracts. Dak is going to need an extension soon.
No, he won't. He just got paid, right?
No,
last year.
It's like 2 years ago now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He's. I think after this coming season, he's going to be ready for an extension. So you have all these people that are either about to get paid this summer or next summer, and they're scared that everybody's going to be like, yo, where's my guaranteed money? But my problem is the players, they want to sit over here and be quiet right now.
Of course, they've been quiet since the Kaepernick shit. They've been quiet the whole time. You know, it's crazy because I was listening to a interview on Howard Stern with Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, the baseball player from back in the day, and he was talking about his struggles, like with racism and all this other shit, like coming up, and how he was like one of the first like pro athletes who like pushed for like free agency. And, you know, he got paid what he was worth because Steinbrenner from the Yankees was like, fuck it, he's great. We're going to pay him. And he kind of went against, you know, the rest of the owners in the MLB and said, you know, I'm going to pay him and set a new precedent, right? And I'm like, damn, yo, it's 2023. And we still dealing with the same bullshit.
How many times do we say that about shit?
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, Lamar Jackson. He's an exciting ass player. You know, I remember the fucking Louisville Clemson game with him and Watson, man. That was one of the best college football games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I have an appreciation for both of them, no matter what. As football players, you know, I haven't watched a lot the last few years, but I am surprised to see no other team, you know, pick him up. But now that you explain it, it kind of makes sense that people are posturing, you know, trying to figure out what other teams are going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Lamar, man. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
He's got at least like, you know, 8-10 years left in his career.
Yeah.
And if Daniel Jones can get fucking $40 million a year, let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, according to what we're hearing, the contract that they tried to offer to Lamar was around like that 43, 44 million a year mark, which, you know, it's not a crazy difference between what people like Russell Wilson got, but Russell Wilson he hasn't been shit for a while. And then he got that kind of money from the Broncos. Meanwhile, you got Lamar, who's every year when he's playing, he's balling out. He was the clear MVP for half the season until he got hurt, and, you know, the Ravens started acting up.
I don't appreciate the Russell Wilson kick a man while he's down argument,
Listen,
because before this season he seemed like he put in the work and he was worth that. He was doing it for years and years.
Dog, the Seahawks have not been good for quite a while.
I'm saying, but it wasn't because of him. He didn't have a bat. You couldn't blame it on him until he went to the Broncos, correct?
He didn't make the team better.
Objectively,
he didn't make the team better.
What team better?
The Seahawks.
You say that now because Geno came in. Shout out to Geno. He got paid over $100 million. That man, I'm surprised he's still even in the league. Troy, how do you feel about Geno, man?
I can't even hate, man. He's a former Jet. We drafted him, and you know, black man getting paid. Got a second chance. Let's do it.
That's right.
Do you miss him?
Right.
Do you wish he was your quarterback or not?
I'd rather him than Zach Wilson for sure.
Oh,
damn. Yeah, Geno, that's a real comeback story, man. I was happy to see because everyone shit on him, you know.
Yeah, everyone did.
But
me included.
You shit on everybody.
That's true. But yeah, I hope Lamar finds a team that really values him and hope that he can get paid. I don't think it'll happen until after the draft, though. That's for sure.
Or then the draft is coming up like a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Or next week?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Shit. Damn, yo. So, you know, you got to cover the NFL draft and all the shit because I don't know what's going on. But,
The main thing is the first 10, 15 picks. That's outside of that. Who cares? But
really?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's the first like 3 rounds makes an impact.
Yeah, I think on the team, but in terms of like names and talking about it on here, please.
Oh, I got you. That's true. Remember the one guy who they leaked the video of him smoking weed in a gas mask the night of the draft night? He kept dropping. Oh, his offensive lineman. What's his name?
Yeah, I don't remember now.
That was like 2016.
Oh, it was.
That was fucked up. He lost millions of dollars for smoking weed. That just sounds stupid
He
today.
did, but somebody got a steal when they drafted him.
That's the same mentality. That's why the players will always be fucked, man. But yo, it's all good, man. We did over 2 hours tonight.
We did.
We still have leftover topics, but you know, we'll get to shit next week, man. I feel great about this, yo. I had a really good time tonight, you know, and I love ending with such passion about Lamar Jackson. I did
Listen.
not know we were going to get that great rant, man.
I hate to see the way that they're doing him. It's really disrespectful. For somebody who played so well, he's been so loyal to the Ravens. Like it's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And you know, while there's other things going on as to why this is happening to him, I hate for him to be like the scapegoat or the guinea pig or whatever other like euphemism you want to give to him.
Yeah, it's not called, you know, and what other animal you want to call it?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Lamar. Hopefully he gets paid and goes to an organization that values him.
Yeah.
I mean, that man sacrifices his body. He's not hurt because he's fragile. He's hurt because he puts in the work.
He puts in the work, and because the Ravens have no fucking weapons.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it's our last March episode, our last Women's History Month episode. I think we covered it really well.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to the ladies out there?
Me? Yeah, you know, I love you all the women in the world. You know, there's billions of you. And yeah, I hope you guys, you know, are happy with our coverage over this month. We try to continue to shout you guys out. So,
Absolutely.
you know, shout out to all the women, you know, who runs the world. Not girls, but it's all good.
And anywhere they can find you, and any way they can find you out here, or no?
Subscribe, No Chill Live. Follow us on Twitter.
That's right.
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We out here.
Yeah. Slide in the DMs for No Chill Live if you're trying to get at Julian. And listen, shout out to all the women out there. Love you, Mom. Love you, sisters. Love you, Graham ladies. Everybody.
All love to
Much
all the
love.
women. All
Yes.
of our lovely, beautiful supporters out there.
Yes. And special shout out to Nat before I get killed. Yes. Love you, baby.
Word, you got to protect your neck.
That's right.
But yeah, thank you everyone for joining tonight. You know, this episode will be on Spotify on Friday. You know, follow us on all platforms. And yeah, until next time.
We'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.